occurs to be the case. Dun, 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 dun. Hello, Miss Phoenix. Hello, future viewers. Well, there you go. Sometimes you just don't, people are busy. So they're doing stuff. They're not interested in my amazing AI game that I'm going to be showing off today. See, the music's excited. Yes, indeed. So Super Tuesday. No real idea what I was going to do with Super Tuesday, except now I know, because I actually have got an AI game. This code was I got this code a few days ago, and I was going to do a stream, and then I had a quick look at it last night. I thought, flipping heck, this is literally what we've been talking about recently. So I thought, well, I may as well. I'm going to cover it. Yes, I am, which is what we're going to do today. I hope you're well. Samantha. On this not bad day, not quite as nice as yesterday. I'm okay. I went to. There's Adam. There he is. How are you, my friend? Good to see you, dude. I went to the dentist this afternoon, and it was the first time I've been to the dentist since 2019, so the thick end of 4 or 5 years, and only because COVID stepped in, and I did try and go earlier this year, but they phoned me and cancelled. The dentist had decided to go on holiday. Well, what a thing. Anyway, very happy with that. He didn't find a thing wrong. I said to him, well, that's great news, because I've saved 500 quid in twice yearly checkup fees since 2019. We had a little chuckle to ourselves, but I could see in his eye he was thinking, flicking heck, he's right. I like using the Win Plus shortcut. Makes it so much easier. To do what, my friend? Get your teeth sorted? What are we talking about here? I've just left the office. Happy days! I'm sure it's not that bad, is it, Sam? I should imagine. To being in marketing and what have you, I should imagine it's pretty good fun. But if you put 1 million monkeys and 1 million keyboards, one of them will eventually write a Java program. The rest of them will write Perl. I had no idea. It's a software programmer's joke. I don't know what it means. Oh, you're talking Baldur's Gate, are you? Baldur's Brass. So Adam, I'm trying to decode this. I like using the Win Plus shortcut. It makes it so much easier. I don't know. I agree. Adam. Whatever it is, I totally agree with you. I don't have my other screen on, so I'm not able to see you. Anyway, it don't matter none. Let's keep it all nice and simple. Real people or NPCs? What? What are we talking about? A game I'm going to play today? Well, without further ado, as they say in the internet circles, let us, I don't know, you two are having your own conversation. Why am I even worried? Let's get over to see what Shadow is up to. My good friend, Shadow. Here we go. And the music immediately stops, which is good, because we don't need all that music. But I do have my floating head. Look at me. A float in a boot. Tell you what, I'll leave it as it is. It's fine. We'll do that. There. You guys, if you want to go and set up a Discord and chat about Baldur's Gate, you crack on. It's all good. I've only just spent half an hour trying to set things up for you, my 2 watchers, my 2 viewers. Wow, I say. What the heck? The flipping heck. Why bother? Let's see. What am I pressing down there? Buttons. Yes. Right, let's fire this up. It's called Vaudeville. Or we could play Starfield. I don't mind. Whatever. Or we could tell jokes and cook sausages around the bonfire. We can do whatever you want, guys. It's your show. I don't mind. Right, let's pull that out there. And you can now... Oh, good. That's not showing up anymore. Good. AI game. Here we go. Vaudeville. Should work. I tested because I'm using Shadow, of course. So I need to use the microphone. So I needed to test before we went live that the mic wouldn't be stopped in here in our broadcast whilst playing this game. So you should be able to hear it. I don't know if I've got ducking. I've got ducking on. Okay, cool. All right, let's listen to this guy. He's like 1940s movie detective.
I could feel the weight of its melancholy in the air. Even the drizzle that clung to the city's grimy cobblestones felt a shade darker than your everyday downpour. Vaudeville was a city of high stakes and low morals where vice and virtue danced a wicked waltz. Street lamps flickering like burnt-out stars were the only guide through the
it has that kind of
soaked alleyways and whispering shadows.
Twilight Zone
My name's
feel,
Martini, detective, troubleshooter, and a lousy sucker for hard luck stories. This wasn't my first circus,
Crystal,
but
how are
this
you?
was a 3-ring special. 3 murders, no leads, and a city on the brink of bedlam. The victims were as
Simone,
chalk and cheese.
one person.
Each a symbol of the city's vibrant veneer. A young dancer who moved like poetry in motion. Her life cut short.
So I can imagine
socialite.
the bulk of this put together with AI, including these images.
And then there was the businessman.
I have no idea what that is.
Vaudeville's promises of progress, snuffed out like a candle in the wind. The usual peace in Vaudeville was off kilter, replaced by the...
But it definitely has a kind of mid-journey feel to the graphics.
Strangers viewed each other through wary eyes. Neighbors turned to strangers. And every...
Vera Lynn!
...the secret.
We'll meet again.
The curtain drawn on a grim play of mystery and murder. In a city without harmony, the police
it's definitely that
conductor
kind of
trying to keep the orchestra in tune.
1930s, 1920s, 1930s movies.
And a heart that had seen better days. There was a stark tension, a raw fear that danced like St. Elmo's.
Beautifully written as well, I thought last night. Well, I got
Whatever was
a little bit
happening in
into it just to
had Gretzky out
check
of his
it out.
depth, and that was a sight I'd never thought I'd see. If anyone could make sense of
Vaudeville.
this twisted tale, it would be him. I'd better head to the police station and have a chat with Gretzky for starters.
All right, Sam's got the old popcorn. That's what I like to see. Are we butter or are we salt or are we a mix? Right, okay, I'm going to use my mouse because it's more of a point and click than anything, this thing. So, server status okay. Did you check out Vaudeville's official merch? No, I didn't do that. Of course, Bumblebee Studios gave me a key, bless you. It's early access, as it says down in the bottom. Although I did notice that it is actually available for purchase in Steam. Not massively expensive. Salted butter, there you go. I knew it would be a mix. I bet you were a salted caramel kind of gal as well, aren't you? Have a quick look at the options, see what we've got going on. 4K narrated actions. What does that do then? Enable action. This is not how the game's meant to be played, right? We won't do that. Ray tracing is on and it is in English. So, it's an AI game. I mean, quite literally, you talk to the characters, and I'm guessing that most of the game itself has been put together with AI as well. So this is a map of Vaudeville. Vaudeville, I think it looks like a couple of French developers, and you can see if I mouse over there, these are like little pins that are popped into the map, and at the bottom there it says what these places are. Now, what I found when I gave it a quick play yesterday was you kind of just thrown in. There's not really much of a start here or go there. Let's have a quick look at his notebook. Nope. Oh yeah, there we go. So go to the police station and ask Chief Gretzky about the murders. There you go. So that's our first clue. Police station. Here we are. So this is now going to load us into the police station, I believe. And we'll see Chief Gretzky. Here he is. All right, now Chief Gretzky, remember it said ask him about the murders. All right, so we've got to click down here, type here, or speak into your microphone. Oh, I'm actually...
Well, what do you want? Spit it out.
Well,
all day.
Sorry.
It's about mud.
What? No, not mud, murder. I've been asked to talk to you about murders.
Mothers. Why in the world would you want to discuss mothers with me?
No, not mothers.
Police chief, not a therapist.
Murders.
Dad, I'm curious now.
Murders, Chief. Chief, murders.
Talk about.
Chief, I've been asked to talk to you about murders in Vaudeville. What can you tell me?
Murders. Yes, the recent cases in Vaudeville. It's a terrible thing, really. 3 people brutally murdered in just a few weeks. Maria Jansen, Nicola Grossman, and Haley Greenwood. It's been keeping us quite busy here at the station, but I'm afraid I don't have much more information than that.
Now, I mean, look, in fairness, I agree the characters and the voices are pretty
or information
basic,
that could help us.
but move past that. I'm muted, like, you can't hear me. If I turn the microphone back on again. Do you have any leads or information that could help us? No, I've only just arrived. I've been on holiday to Australia.
Australia, you say? Well, I can't say I know much about that place. I've never been outside of Vaudeville myself. So, what brings you all the way from Australia to our little city?
I've been looking for my lost
Stumble upon
kangaroo.
these murder investigations.
I'm being paid by the ghost of a kangaroo named Ernie.
The ghost of a kangaroo named Ernie. Now that's a new one. You do have an interesting story, don't you? But forgive me for being skeptical. Are you saying that this ghostly kangaroo is somehow involved in the murders? Or is there another reason you bring up Ernie?
Genius, isn't it? No, I'm just joking with you, Chief. Look, tell me, what do you want me to do with regards to the murders of these three people?
Yeah, a joke, huh? Well, we can all use a bit of humor in these grim times. As for what you can do regarding the murder investigation, it depends. Are you offering your assistance? Do you have any particular skills or knowledge that could be helpful? Or are you simply curious about the case? Give me a bit more information, and maybe we can figure out how you can contribute, if at all.
I have a notebook and $5.
Notebook, you say? Interesting. And what exactly is in this notebook of yours? Are there some valuable notes or insights that could assist us in solving these murders? If so, please share what you have. Every little piece of information might be crucial in cracking this case. $5. What does money have to do with this investigation? Are you suggesting some sort of bribe? I won't tolerate any corruption or unethical behavior, so I hope that's not what you're implying. If you have relevant information, it's your duty to provide it, regardless of any monetary incentives. Now, let's focus on the matter at hand. Do you have any substantial leads or evidence that could help shed light on these gruesome crimes?
Well, at the moment, are you listening? At the moment, most crimes seem to be committed by Donald Trump. So I would put forward that he is a likely candidate for the crimes in Vaudeville.
Donald Trump. Goodness gracious, that's quite a leap. I'm afraid I don't see the connection between the former American president and the recent murders in Vaudeville. We need concrete evidence and logical reasoning, not wild accusations. Let's
see how intelligent it is, though. I mean, it's able to pick up a really random. It was a good suggestion. A really random
please do share
comment and actually hold a conversation. This is good for lonely people, if nothing else. What can you give me, Chief, that I can help you with to solve these murders? And I don't mean money, I mean information.
Cheap. Well, I suppose information doesn't cost much, does it? If you have any relevant information or leads that could help us in solving these crimes, that would be greatly appreciated. Anything you've heard or seen, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, could potentially be a valuable piece of the puzzle. So, if you have any insights or details that you think could assist us, I'm all ears.
Can you remind me who was murdered again?
Maria Jansen, Nicola Grossman, and Haley Greenwood were the three people who were brutally murdered in Vaudeville recently. What do you ask? Do you have some specific information or a lead related to one of these cases?
I'm just putting it in my notebook. I'm a good boy.
Well, aren't you quite the diligent note-taker? It's good to see someone being thorough. Just remember, my dear boy, that the key to being helpful in an investigation is not just writing things down.
Don't spoil it, Divergent.
But also actively
Very
contributing
impressed
with relevant insights and leads. So, if you happen to come across any valuable information in your notebook or elsewhere, do let me know. We're all working towards the same goal here, after all.
Thanks, Chief. So, is that it? Are we done, or have you got anything else that you want to tell me?
Is there something specific you're looking for, Detective Martini? I've shared what I can regarding the murders and the investigations. If you have any specific questions or if there's something else you'd like to discuss, feel free to let me know. I'm here to assist you in whatever way I can.
Where were the murders committed?
Let me think. The 3 murders took place at different locations in Vaudeville. Maria Jansen was found outside her apartment in central Vaudeville. Nicola Grossman's body was discovered outside Pascala's grocery shop. And Haley Greenwood was found in an alley behind the club she worked at. Each crime scene has its own unique characteristics and evidence. Why do you ask about the locations? Do you think there might be something significant about them?
Where was the club in Vaudeville?
The club where Haley Greenwood was employed is called the Moonlight Lounge. It's a popular establishment located on the outskirts of the city center, near the riverfront. It's known for its lively atmosphere and vibrant performances. Is there a particular reason you're interested in the location of the club?
So, obviously, the important thing is asking. You're trying to build up information, okay? So he has the database and is able to react to what you say, and it can have a little bit of a convo with you. What do the victims look like? Does our killer have a thing for blondes? No, you're right, Sam. You're good. Right, so we'll leave here now, and we'll go and let's have a look. Country Club. Was Country Club one of the places? Moonlight Lounge Club. He said it was on the outskirts. Cabinet. Circus Saxa Bar, Graves Ven Manor, Pascal's. Oh, there you go. Pascal's Groceries. That was the second one. Oh, look, here she is. Who are you? She's got to be. That's Mrs. Potter. Let's turn the microphone back on. Hello, Mrs. Potter.
Oh, how I wish I could go on another adventure. Traveling the world, experiencing new cultures, and indulging in the finest luxuries. But alas, I am bound by the chains of my late husband's restrictions. How I long to break free and embrace the excitement that awaits beyond the confines of Vaudeville. But for now, I must content myself with the simple pleasures of picking mushrooms and playing bridge. Oh, the thrilling life of a housewife and heiress.
Nicole Grossman, was she visiting your shop or does she work there?
Oh, dear. I'm afraid I don't know anyone by the name of Nicole Grossman. You see, my dear, I'm not one to concern myself with the affairs of others. My focus is solely on my own little bubble of existence here in dear old Vaudeville. Now, if you excuse me, I simply must attend to my shopping. Pascala's grocery shop always has the most...
Oh, she's just a freaking
treats.
Shopper. I'm not interested in you as a shopper. Is the boss, is the manager around?
Well, my dear, I'm not one to gossip, but I've heard some rather interesting rumors about the manager of this establishment. They say he's quite the charmer, with a mischievous glint in his eye. But you didn't hear that from me, of course. It's all just idle chatter among the ladies of the town. Anyway, I really should get back to my browsing. So many...
Alright, well that's all we're going to get there, because she's just a shopper. Right, I'm not going to be here much today. Going to do some chores. Have an awesome show. Thank you, my friend. Hey, Rockmouth, how are you, dude? So this is very fairly basic, but interesting example of an AI game. So all the characters are essentially connected to a database, a language model, which allows, they have some information, they've all got information, but in order to get it, and then once you've got those questions, you can toddle on. Now, we just did, let's have a look. We went to Pascal's, although I did spell it incorrectly, grocery shop, where Nicole Grossman was found moidered And the manager's a bit of a charmer, apparently. I'm not sure that makes him guilty. But the apartment in Central. Let's see. It's anywhere that looks like could be an apartment. The Black Woods. A morgue. Oh, we could go and look at the bodies. Let's do that. Oh, flipping egg. Oh. Don't flip an egg.
Well, detective, when it comes to the fragility of life, sometimes it feels as delicate as an eggshell. One moment, everything is intact, and the next, it's shattered. It's fascinating how a seemingly insignificant movement can cause irreparable damage. It reminds me of the intricate balance of our bodies, how a slight disruption can lead to devastating consequences.
I'm not sure how you can speed them on. Hello.
Yeah, greetings, my dear interlocutor. How intriguing it is to engage in discourse amidst the somber atmosphere of death. Life's tapestry is woven with countless threads, each unique and fragile in its own way. The human body, an exquisite composition of flesh and bone, harbors both strength and vulnerability. We are but complex organisms susceptible to the whims of fate and circumstance. It is a marvel, isn't it? How the symphony of organs orchestrates the dance of vitality until one misstep.
See, I think you have to hit that hand, and that shuts them up. Can you tell me about the recent murders of Maria Jansen, Nicole Grossman, and Hayley Greenwood?
The case of Hayley Greenwood is indeed a tragic one. Upon conducting the autopsy, it was evident that she suffered multiple blows to the head with a blunt object.
Yeah,
The
your
nature of the
voice.
wounds, particularly the presence of fragments resembling stiletto shoe material, suggests a rather brutal and personal attack. The force exerted was substantial, causing significant trauma to the delicate structures of the cranium. It is disheartening to witness such violence inflicted upon a young soul, detective. It serves as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the shadows of our society.
Tell me, was it her shoe that killed her?
Yeah, my dear interlocutor, while the evidence does suggest that a stiletto shoe was involved in the infliction of the fatal injuries to poor Hayley's head, it is crucial to remember that it is not the mere inanimate object that caused her demise. Rather, it was the violent actions of another individual that wielded that weapon with malicious intent. The true source of her demise lies in the hands of the perpetrator, not the footwear itself. It is a grim reminder that even seemingly innocuous objects can become instruments of harm in the wrong hands.
The person that killed her with a stiletto shoe, did they use the shoe belonging to Hayley Greenwood or a separate shoe belonging to someone else?
Well, detective, it is a possibility that Hayley's own shoes were used as a
Right.
lethal tool in her untimely passing. However, it is also plausible that a separate pair of shoes belonging to someone else was employed in this tragic act. Determining this detail would require further investigation and analysis, including examining any potential DNA or trace evidence on both her shoes and any other shoes found at or near the scene. It is a task best left in the capable hands of our esteemed law enforcement colleagues. But my heart goes out to young Hayley and her loved ones.
Oh, so you're not going to do this for me? You can't go and sample a bit of the old shoe DNA?
Oh, my dear interlocutor, how I wish I could fulfill your request and delve into the intricate world of shoe-related DNA. Alas, as a coroner,
Oh, that was funny. Shoe-related DNA. I'm not going to get anything more from her. We did, however. I mean, why did she not know about the other two? I didn't really push her on that. Let's go back to the morgue. Hello.
Detective Martini, always finding yourself in the midst of these macabre mysteries.
Did you not examine the bodies of Nicole Grossman and Maria Jansen?
Well, in the autopsy of Maria Jansen, I discovered a rather peculiar detail.
Yes.
It appears that poor Maria suffered quite a brutal fate. Her body exhibited extensive lacerations and bite marks, particularly on her arms. Oh, Detective Martini, you always have a way of bringing up the most gruesome cases. But fear not, I shall provide you with the details you seek. Nicola Grossman, a prominent figure in the finance world, met a tragic end.
Yes, she died. How did she die?
Maria Jansen, along with Nicola Grossman and Haley Greenwood, were the three unfortunate souls who fell victim to these recent acts of violence in Vaudeville. Their deaths have left a void in this city, a reminder of the fragility of life.
How did Maria Jansen die?
Detective Martini, you have such an insatiable
I'm a detective.
curiosity.
What do you want?
Very well, let me provide you with the details. It appears that poor Maria Jansen met a rather gruesome end. Her body showed signs of extensive lacerations and bite marks, particularly on her arms. One of her forearm bones was even fractured by the force of the bite. The nature of the wound suggests that she may have been attacked by a large and powerful creature. It's a tragic and brutal way to go, isn't it?
Do you have any ideas on what this creature could have been?
Oh, the mysterious predator that afflicted dear Maria. It's difficult to say with certainty, but based on the severity of the injuries and the unique pattern of the bites, it is possible that the assailant was a larger carnivorous species, perhaps a wild animal that had strayed into the city. Or could it be something more otherworldly, a beast from folklore lurking in the shadows of our imagination? Oh, how I wish I had more answers for you, my dear detective. But alas, the truth eludes us for now.
Are you suggesting a werewolf?
Oh, Detective Martini, you have such an imaginative mind. A werewolf, you say? Well, while I can't completely dismiss the possibility, it's important to approach these cases with a rational and scientific mindset. We must consider all possibilities, no matter how fantastical they may seem. In this particular instance, the evidence suggests that the wounds were caused by an unknown creature. But attributing it to a mythical being like a werewolf would require further investigation and concrete evidence.
And what about the death of Nicole Grossman? How did she die?
Well, my dear detective, the case of Nicola Grossman is indeed a tragic one. Upon examining his body, it was evident that he met his demise through a stab wound to the back of his neck.
That was a man.
The precision of the injury indicates a deliberate and targeted act.
Stab wound, you say? Do you know the implement?
My, Detective Martini, your mind races like a thoroughbred on the polo field. As for the employment of our late Mr. Grossman, he was quite the figure in the finance world. His untimely death has surely left a void in the business realm. But let us not forget that behind the titles and occupations lie complex individuals with dreams, fears, and secrets of their own. It is my duty to unravel the mysteries of their deaths, to bring closure to their loved ones, and to remind us all of the fragile nature of life's tapestry.
Thank you. Goodbye. Wow. So there we go. We know that Nicole is actually French for Nicholas. So it's a gent. He was stabbed to the back of the neck. And we know that, interestingly enough, we know that Maria Jansen, who I'm assuming is a girl, was, hey, Geek to Sneak. Hello, bro. Good to see you, my friend. I know, backside lifting, bad for your feet. Apparently, Maria Jansen died from a large carnivorous bite. Could be a lion, could be a werewolf. And Haley Greenwood died outside the Midnight or the Moonlight Lounge Club from a stiletto heel to the head, which may or may not have been her own. The thing is, we can't wander around an area to have a look and see, can we? So let's close that down. Let's have another look at these. Coral, Cabane Violet, Country Club. I don't know what these places... Oh, let's go back to the grocery shop, see if the manager's there. No, it's still her. she can go. Let's have a look down the woods. The Black Woods. Oh, flipping heck. Dada. What, the surrealist? Lady Gaga.
My dear friend, you speak with such colorful language. Surrealism, like the swirling dance of dreams, can indeed be quite bewildering. But fear not, for within the depths of the black woods, I find solace and clarity amidst the mysteries that abound.
Who are you? Lady Gaga? What? I didn't say that. Who are you, Dada? Apart from, lyrics from a Police track. No, I don't think we're going to get any more out of Dada. I think we'll leave Dada. What have we got here? Let's have a look. Oh, hello. Coral. Hello, Coral. Ingrid, sorry.
Oh, Detective Martini, you always know how to make me smile. It's actually Ingrid, not Carl.
Sorry.
But no worries, mistakes happen. So, what brings you to Coral today? Is there something on your mind?
Yeah, I wonder if you could tell me how I can find the Moonlight Club. Lounge Club.
Oh, the Moonlight Club. It's such a magical place, filled with music and dancing. I've heard so many wonderful things about it. Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to visit it myself yet. But I've heard that it's located in the heart of Vaudeville, just a few blocks away from here. I'm sure if you ask around, someone will be able to give you precise directions. Vaudeville is a friendly city, and people are usually happy to help. Have a great time at the Moonlight Club, Detective.
Thank you. You don't fancy sharing a bag of fish and chips? I could go light on the vinegar.
Fish and chips. That sounds absolutely delightful, Detective Martini. You know, back in my hometown, we didn't have fish and chips like they do here in Vaudeville. But since moving, I've fallen in love with this classic dish. The crispy batter, the tender fish, and, of course, that tangy vinegar. It's like a little burst of flavor in every bite. Sharing a bag of fish and chips with you sounds like a fantastic idea. Let's go find a cozy spot and enjoy this delicious treat together.
Will you marry me?
Detective Martini, you always have a way of surprising me. Your proposal is certainly unexpected, but I appreciate the sentiment. However, I think it's important for us to
hang
focus on
about.
our friendship and the task at hand, which is solving the mystery of Haley's murder. We make a great team, and I value our connection as friends. So let's keep working together to uncover the truth and bring justice to those who deserve it. Thank you for your kind words, though. They mean a lot to me.
Au revoir, bonsoir. All right, let's leave. We were getting on well there with a bag of chips. That was so cool. Now then, she said that the club was only a few blocks away. Now, what about this Cabernet Violette? I mean, it's not, unless that means the Moonlight Club. I don't think it does. Oh. Hello.
Well, look who we have here.
It's me.
Detective Martini, isn't it? What brings you to my dressing room today? Looking for a little entertainment, perhaps.
Oh,
Or
well,
maybe you're just curious about the glamorous life of a burlesque dancer.
I have to say, yeah, this martini is shaken and not stirred.
Oh, how intriguing, Mr. Shaken Not Stirred. I must say, I do love a detective with a touch of mystery. So, tell me, what can I help you with? Are you looking for a captivating performance, or is there something else on your mind?
Yeah, Hayley Greenwood. Can you tell me anything at all about her?
Ah, dear Hayley Greenwood. Such a tragic loss. She was a fellow dancer, you know? Talented, vibrant, and full of life. It's such a shame what happened to her. But why the sudden interest in dear Hayley? Is there something specific you're looking for?
Well, she's dead.
Oh, you want to hear about something she said?
Hey, speak up! What was that, love?
Detective Martini, we dancers have a code of secrecy. We don't go around sharing each other's secrets. It's all part of the allure and mystique of our world. But I can tell you this, Hayley was always a bit of a free spirit.
Going in for
She
the
had a
kill,
way with
guys.
words, that's for sure. Anything in particular you're hoping to find out?
Marina, I just wanted to ask you, have you been missing a stiletto shoe recently?
Missing a stiletto shoe. How peculiar. Why, yes, as a matter of fact, I have been missing one of my beloved stiletto shoes. It's quite a fabulous piece, you know, adorned with feathers and rhinestones. How did you come to know about it?
Well,
Have you seen my shoe somewhere?
I had a hunch back at the office. He lives in Notre Dame, actually. He's a small fellow with a bump. Yeah, well, you say that you're missing a shoe. What about the other one? Where's the other one? Are you just missing the one shoe, or am I just waffling?
My Detective Martini, you certainly have a way of keeping me on my toes. The other stiletto, it's right here with me. You see, it's a bit of a tradition for me to keep one of my favorite pairs close by. Just in case. But how did you come to suspect that one of my shoes was in Notre Dame? That's a rather unexpected connection, isn't it?
So, did you get on well with Haley?
Oh, Haley. Did you mean Haley Greenwood? I must say, I didn't have a chance to get on anything specific with her.
Oh.
We were friendly colleagues. We didn't have any deep personal connections. Is there something specific you're looking to uncover about her?
Jealousy? Were you jealous for any reason? Was she seeing a friend of yours, maybe?
Jealousy, you say. Detective Martini, you certainly have a way with words. But I assure you, there's no reason for me to be jealous. As for your other question, I'm afraid I don't know who she might have been seeing. We dancers have our own little worlds within vaudeville, and we don't always know the details of each other's relationships. But I'm curious, why this sudden interest in her love life?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm thinking, Marina. We know that Haley was killed from a blow by a stiletto shoe, and you have just admitted that one of your shoes is indeed missing. Now, I put it to you, Marina, is there a purpose behind that missing shoe that you'd like to share with us?
Detective Martini, you truly have a vivid imagination. I must admit, it's quite an intriguing theory you've concocted there. But I must clarify, my dear detective, that the disappearance of my stiletto shoe is purely coincidental. I can't fathom how it could be connected to the unfortunate demise of Haley Greenwood. Perhaps there's another lead we should be pursuing in this investigation.
Is there anything else that you can tell me about the night that Haley disappeared? Was she receiving any unwarranted attention from maybe a customer at the club?
Unwarranted attention from a customer. That's a rather distressing thought, isn't it? But I'm afraid I can't shed much light on that particular matter. You see, as a performer, my focus during the shows tends to be on the stage and captivating the audience. I don't always have the opportunity to observe the interactions between the dancers and the patrons. However, I'm sure Chief Graysky and the police are diligently investigating all possible leads.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you very much. I'm actually going to go and have a little chat with him right now. Take care, and I look forward to that private dance. She wasn't as comely as the previous lady, was she? I'm going to go and tell Chief. Chief, how's it going, dude?
Well, what do you want? Spit it out.
So, Chief, I have a lead for you.
A lead, you say? All right, let's hear it.
The stiletto shoe. I've got it. What? You know the stiletto shoe that killed Haley?
The stiletto shoe, huh? That's an interesting detail. Tell me more about it.
Well, I went down to the club and I investigated and I had a chat with Marina, and it turns out that one of her stiletto shoes is missing. And I wonder whether this is the actual murder implement.
Missing stiletto, you say? And Marina is involved. That's worth looking into. Did she mention anything suspicious about the missing shoe?
She said it had feathers and rhinestones on it.
Feathers and rhinestones, you say? Quite an extravagant combination for a murder weapon. Do you think it's possible that someone took the shoe from Marina and used it to commit the crime?
At this stage, Chief, anything is possible.
I suppose you're right. In this line of work, we've seen our fair share of strange things. So, Detective Martini, do you have any leads on who might have taken the stiletto from Marina?
No, I'm still working on that one, but I will let you know as soon as I uncover any further clues.
All right, keep me updated. I'll be here, sifting through these old files. Just remember, we need solid evidence to move forward. Don't waste your time chasing shadows. Anything else you need to discuss, or can I get back to my retirement daydreams?
I'll catch you later, Chief Baby. Au revoir.
If what, Detective Martini?
He liked that clue, didn't he? I tell you what, we're doing it already. Right, so we discovered the shoe. I think that was a fairly solid clue, that one. Now, that was up here at Cabane Violette. Coral, it might be worth asking Coral if she's seen a rather interesting shoe. Oh, Ingrid, press F2 or gamepad to toggle microphone muted. No, I don't need to. Now you've got now I've read it out, and you're going to go and quiz me on what I just said. Dagnabbit.
Oh, Detective Martini, you always come up with the most interesting things to say. But I must confess, I have no idea what you just said.
Me neither.
It's like a puzzle that I can't quite piece together. How about we focus on something else?
Okay, Ingrid.
To Coral, the bar downtown. It's absolutely marvelous. The whole place is decorated like an underwater paradise.
She's coming on to me now.
Musicians and dancers from all over the world gather there to showcase their talents. It's such an inspiring place, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. But listen, let's put that to one side and we'll share our bag of fish and chips. What I want to ask you is, are you familiar with a stiletto with rhinestones and feathers on it? Maybe you may have seen one discarded on your recent travels. 12-ounce Q?
Oh, fish and chips. That sounds simply delightful, Detective Martini. Although I haven't seen any discarded stilettos with rhinestones and feathers on my recent travels. I can't help but get excited about the prospect of sharing a meal with you. It's so wonderful to have a friend like you who appreciates the little joys in life. But let's make sure we find a cozy spot to enjoy our fish and chips, shall we?
If you enjoy little joys, we'll get on well.
Soak up the spring sunshine while we indulge in this delicious treat.
Have you ever tried mushy peas, Ingrid, out of interest?
Mushy peas. How intriguing. I must admit, I haven't had the pleasure of trying them yet. It's always fascinating to discover new culinary delights, especially ones that are cherished in different cultures. I'm open to new experiences and flavors, so maybe it's time for me to give mushy peas a whirl. They sound like they could add an interesting twist to a traditional dish like fish and chips. Thank you for introducing me to this culinary curiosity, Detective Martini.
It's my pleasure. It'll be curry sauce next, and then we'll maybe do some gribbles or something like that. It'll be nice. We'll have a lovely little fish and chip session when this crime has been solved.
Absolutely, Detective Martini. Curry sauce sounds like the perfect accompaniment to our meal. The combination of spices and flavors will surely make our taste buds dance with joy. And after we've satisfied our cravings, why not take a stroll down to Gribbles? I've heard they have some fantastic desserts that will make our sweet tooth sing. We'll have a grand feast, and once this crime has been solved...
I'm sorry, but that was so clever. All right, so she's not giving up nothing on that shoe. What about this place, the Country Club? We've got some haughty-taughty individual.
Maria, what do you want to know?
Well, what have you got to tell me?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh.
Is there something specific you want to ask me about?
Do you know anything at
I'm here to
all?
help in any way I can.
All right. Do you know the wind velocity of an African swallow carrying a coconut?
African swallow carrying a coconut. That's a rather unusual question, isn't it? I'm afraid I don't have the answer to that.
Oh.
But hey, speaking of coconuts, have you tried the coconut cocktails they serve at the Country Club? They're absolutely divine.
What's wrong with your ear? Urea?
Why? Is there something wrong with it? I must admit, I'm not quite familiar with the topic.
Urea?
Enlighten me on why you're
No, your ear, not urea. Do you know anything about these recent murders of Haley, Nicole, and the other one, I forget, Maria.
Oh, my goodness. You're right. There have been some terrible murders recently. It's absolutely shocking. I knew Maria, you know. We used to hang out together. Such a tragedy. I'm determined to find out the truth about her death and bring the murderer to justice. But I'm afraid I don't have much information about the other victims, Haley and Nicola. It's also distressing. Have the police made any progress in their investigation?
Yes, they believe it's a large werewolf that hangs out at the country club drinking coconut cocktails.
The werewolf. At the country club. That's unexpected. Are you sure the police believe that? I mean, werewolves and coconut cocktails, it's quite a combination. But regardless, I don't think it's possible for a werewolf to be responsible for those tragic deaths. There must be a more logical explanation, don't you think?
Yeah, I just want to point out that the skirt and top combo is clashing. You might want to try maybe a more contrasting colour or a different pattern, maybe. I'm just offering it up as advice more than anything.
Oh, thank you for your input. It's interesting that you notice my outfit. Fashion is something I'm really passionate about, you see.
Well, maybe
I'm
once.
curious, what exactly do you think would make it better? Different colors.
Yeah,
Maybe a
colours.
different style altogether. I'm
Yeah,
always open to new ideas and suggestions.
yeah. Leather lederhosen, maybe. A sort of leather pinafore, tattoos, that kind of thing. Always looks good at a country club, I find.
Leather pinafore and tattoos. That's certainly an unconventional suggestion for the country club. But hey, I'm all about expressing personal style and being unique. Tell me more about this idea. What kind of tattoos and accessories do you think would complement the leather pinafore?
Well, actually, look, I tell you what, tell me more about Maria Jansen. So you were good friends with her, and yet when she was found, she had suffered from considerable lacerations and bite marks. Now, are you aware of her maybe having a large dog or knowing somebody with a huge hamster?
Ah, yes, Maria Jansen. We were quite close friends, and her death has left me devastated. It's truly heartbreaking to think of the lacerations and bite marks she had. But no, I wasn't aware of her having any large dogs or knowing someone with a huge hamster. It's quite peculiar, isn't it? I can't imagine who or what could have caused such injuries. Have the police made any progress in their investigation into her murder?
I would not be at liberty to divulge that, I'm afraid, Michelle. But do you have anything else that you might be able to give me that I could follow up as a lead?
Of course, Detective Martini. While I may not have specific leads or information about the murders, there is something that caught my attention a couple of months ago. When Mrs. Potter and I were changing in the dressing room at the country club, I couldn't help but notice some bruises on her back. When I asked her about them, she mentioned they were from a bad fall she had while horseback riding. It seemed a bit suspicious to me, considering the severity of the bruises. Perhaps it's worth looking into.
Where can I find Mrs. Potter?
Mrs. Potter. Let me think. I believe she's a regular member here at the Vaudeville Country Club. You might be able to find her around the club, perhaps in the lounge or on the tennis courts. She's quite active in social events, so she's likely to be present. But I must say, it struck me as odd that she claimed the bruises were from a fall off a horse. I've known Mrs. Potter for some time, and she's never shown any interest in equestrian activities.
Your accent is interesting, Michelle. I thought initially American, but as I listen to you, I'm getting Antipodean twangs. Maybe New Zealand or Tasmania.
Well, isn't that fascinating? I've always been told that my accent is a bit unique, but I haven't heard the comparison to New Zealand or Tasmania before. How intriguing. I actually grew up in a small town in Europe, so my accent may have a blend of different influences. But I'm curious, what made you think of those particular regions? Is there something about my accent that reminded you of them?
Which small town in Europe did you grow up in?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. I grew up in a charming little town called Vaudeville.
Of course
It's
you
a
did.
beautiful place known for its vibrant art scene, lively cafes, and stunning architecture. Have you ever been there? It's
I'm
just a
there.
hidden gem.
I'm here right now.
I must say, I feel quite lucky to have grown up.
Right, well, thank you for all your information. That was excellent. Hello, Cowboy. How are you, my friend? This is an AI game. You have to solve you have to solve 3 murders by talking to the characters, and they really do. You can genuinely ask them anything, and they will have a long conversation. We're up for a date with one of them, fish and chips, no doubt. Circus Saxabar. Let's go and have a look at. Oh, bonjour, monsieur.
Ja, ik vind qualquam qui reconate mon statut de maître. Quoi puis-je faire pour vous, detective?
Yeah, let's just switch to English, because it doesn't sound very convincing in French.
Well, if you insist on dulling the charm of the French language, detective, I suppose we shall converse in English. How may I assist you?
Monsieur, I'd like to know what large predator animals, carnivorous animals, you have at the circus. For example, do you have a lion or a tiger?
Oh, my dear detective, we have not just one, but a magnificent pride of lions at Circus Saxabar. They are the kings of the jungle, you know. And as for tigers, we have a few of those majestic creatures as well. Is there something specific you would like to know about them?
Yeah, so I'd like to know, have you lost a lion recently?
Lost a lion? Ah, I assure you, detective, not a single hair on any of my esteemed feline companions has gone astray. We take great care of our precious beasts, and none have escaped or been lost. Rest assured, they are all present and accounted for.
Do you by chance take them for walks at any point, or are they always kept in their cages?
No, we don't go for walks. They have their own domain, but it's not the streets of Vaudeville.
So why would it be then that recently a young lady by the name of Maria was killed by what looks like the bite of a large carnivore, and I put it to you, Monsieur Saxabar, potentially one of your caged lions?
Nonsense. My lions are perfectly trained and pose no threat to anyone. Maria's unfortunate demise must be the work of some other creature, not my majestic felines.
Can I ask you then, are there any other animals that you're missing at all in the circus?
No, there are no missing animals from the circus.
Are you familiar with the fact that 3 people died recently in this town?
Of course, I'm aware. But what do these deaths have to do with me or my lions?
Well, one of them we suspect was killed by a large carnivorous beast, which does mean that as your circus is in town and it does have indeed lions, this puts you firmly in the suspect box.
Absurd. I am a lion tamer, not a murderer. The idea that I would harm anyone is preposterous. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a show to prepare for. Au revoir, detective.
Thank you, Monsieur Saxabar. I will return. I am intrigued. Au revoir. Yeah, Metal Wolf. How my friend? Yeah, you're right. The voices do leave a lot to be desired, but what I'm really impressed with is the tech behind it. I mean, this is obviously an indie studio effort, and you know they don't have the budget of a large AAA that they can use to get use the really good AI voices that are now sort of out there. But what they've done is really impressive, and we've been able to have really extensive conversations. And you can see I'm not asking simple questions. I'm trying to be deliberately obtuse, so I'm seeing how well the characters deal with what I'm saying, and you can literally throw stuff in and they pick it all up. So all we know, I tell you what, let's go back and tell Chief Gretzky. Oh.
Well, what do you want? Spit it out.
I may have another clue for you.
Another clue, huh? All right, go ahead and spill it. But make it quick. My patience is wearing thin.
Okay, so you know Maria was killed by something that bit her. I've just discovered that down at the circus they have a pride of lions.
The pride of lions, you say? in vaudeville. That's quite an interesting twist. Are you suggesting that these lions had something to do with Maria's death?
I'm simply saying that it would be worth investigating and maybe taking some prints of their teeth and the teeth marks on Maria's body to see if there's any correlation.
Investigating the teeth marks on Maria's body and comparing them to the teeth of the lions. It's an unconventional approach, but it might just be worth a shot. Let's see if there's any correlation. Keep me updated on your findings, Detective Martini.
Will do, Chief. I'm off to do some more investigating. It's brilliant, isn't it? I mean, they do get everything. I'm going to ask them about pizza toppings, guys. So we saw this really weird guy down in the woods. I don't know about that one yet. We've been to the circus, and we've also been to a couple of clubs. We were accosted by a fish and chip shop, fish and chip loving lady. Where haven't we been yet? Gravesend Manor. We've been to the circus. We've been to the police station. We've been to the morgue. We've been to Pascal's. We've been everywhere with the exception of Gravesend Manor. So let's go and have a little look here. Ah, good afternoon, Count.
Yeah, a pleasant afternoon to you as well. What brings you to my humble abode today?
Well,
are you here to take a look at my magnificent collection?
I'm sure your collection is very magnificent, but what I would really like to know is, what are your thoughts on pineapple on pizza?
Pineapple on pizza, you say? How delightful. An intriguing combination of flavors, wouldn't you agree? Although, to be honest, my culinary preferences lean towards the more traditional. But who am I to judge? Different strokes for different folks, as they say. Now, let me regale you with tales of my adventures in far-off lands.
I love a bit of pineapple. But Count, just what are your connections with the murder of the 3 people in Vaudeville recently? Have you anything that you would like to confess?
Confess, my dear detective, whatever do you mean? I am but a simple collector of oddities and a lover of all things peculiar. As for the unfortunate incidents you speak of, it is indeed a tragedy, but rest assured, my hands are as clean as a freshly polished gem. However, if you have any other fascinating topics to discuss, do enlighten me.
Count, have you noticed recently the loss of maybe a dagger or a knife from your collection?
Oh, a missing dagger or knife, you say? How intriguing. I must admit, my collection is quite extensive, and it's possible that an item may have gone astray without my notice. But fear not, Detective Martini, for I am more than willing to assist you in your investigation. Pray tell, what does this particular dagger or knife look like?
Well, I'm more interested in knowing if you have one that's missing than what it looks like. Could you just shuffle off down the road and have a look and come back and let me know? I'm quite happy to wait. I'll cook a pizza or something.
Shuffle off down the road, you jest. My dear detective, I'm afraid I cannot leave my beloved manor at the moment. But worry not, I shall do my best to recall any recent losses from my vast assemblage. Please, do regale me with tales of your investigations while I peruse my treasures. The pizza sounds delightful, by the way.
Thank you, Count. I'm going to go and find some more details out about this knife, and I will return because I do believe that I may be on to something here. Take care, my friend, and I'm not sure what that head thing is behind you, but you might need to give it a polish. See you later. Au revoir. Oh, hang on. So I'm going to go back to the morgue because I want to know if we have any more information on this knife stroke dagger that killed, who was it that killed? I think it was Nicol, stabbed to the back of the neck. And then we have to connect these things somehow. The stiletto shoe, the lion, and the knife. Coroner! What? Oh, hold the... Oh, hello! I didn't know we could do this!
Detective, death is a peculiar thing, isn't it? It's the inevitable conclusion to our mortal existence, a final cessation of all biological functions.
Hang on, I'm leaving you. I want to go and have a look around. Let's go back to the circus. I didn't know we could look around. Hello, mate. Oh, not much to see, really.
I'm already elevated, my dear detective.
Oh, elevate. I said hello, mate, not elevate. Actually, you look a bit short, if I'm honest. Right, so I didn't really... there's nothing to... What about Pascal? They don't have very interesting... Oh, hello, who are you? Ah, you...
I'm just peaky. You won't believe the latest gossip, I heard. There's a love affair brewing between Lady Penelope and Lord Hawthorne. Scandalous,
What?
isn't it?
Lady Penelope? Yes, my lady. Pascal, this is your grocery shop, I assume.
Oh, thank you for noticing. Yes, this is my grocery shop, Vaudeville. But let me tell you, it's not just about groceries here. We've got the juiciest rumors and the freshest produce in town. So, what brings you here today? Need any inside info on our lovely townsfolk?
Of course I do. What can you give me? I will take anything you have. I'll even buy a peach from you.
Yeah, you're in luck. I've heard a little something about Mr. Johnson and his late-night escapades at the theater. Quite the scandal, I must say. As for the peaches, my friend, I have the finest ones in all of Vaudeville. Sweet as can be. How many would you like?
Is Mr. Johnson connected to Maria Johnson, the recently deceased lady?
Well, isn't that an interesting connection you're making? I can neither confirm nor deny it, but let's just say there might be more to Mr. Johnson than meets the eye. You know how these things go in our charming little town of Vaudeville. Secrets and scandals around every corner. Now, about those juicy peaches. How many should I bag up for you?
I hear that you are quite the charmer, Mr. Pascal.
You won't believe the latest rumor, my friend. There's talk that Mr. Johnson and Maria Jansen had a secret rendezvous. Can you imagine the scandal if it's true? But you didn't hear it from me, of course. So, how about those scrumptious peaches?
Yeah, never mind the peaches. Where can I find Mr. Johnson?
Mr. Johnson, eh? Last
Horace.
I heard, he was seen at the Vaudeville Theatre, whispering sweet nothings to the leading lady. But who knows, my friend? Gossip has a way of twisting and turning. Now, let me tell you about the Count and Miss S. Potter.
Oh, hello. Yes. Tell me more.
Oh, the Count and Miss S. Potter. Quite the intriguing pair, I must say. Word on the grapevine is that they've been spotted together quite often, sharing secretive glances and stolen moments. Some even say they're involved in a passionate affair. But, you know, these rumors can be quite exaggerated. It's all part of the charm of our little town, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, my friend. Wow. So there we go. We found 2 clues. We found that Jansen and Johnson, who have never made baby powder, were friends. And Mrs. Potter, and the Count have been having a bit of a liaison, apparently. Now, Mrs. Potter, if you remember, was a friend of, I believe, Nicole, whoever it was that was found with bruises, or was it Maria? And she had some bruises as well, so there may well be a connection there between the Count. But what I want to go and do is go back to the club, the Vaudeville, here we are, this one, and look around and see if there's any other folk. Ooh, it's all gone a bit FPS-y. Whoa. Hello? Marina? Hello? It's all gone a bit laggy. Hang on, let me boot the stream. It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I could actually see having a few friends around and, with some drinks and stuff, like an evening, I invite some friends over for dinner or something, fire this up, and then ask them this and try and connect that and stuff. A bit like one of those kinds of party games, I guess. Wow, I don't know what happened there. Didn't want me to look around by the look of things. I'm going to just quickly ask the Count what he knows about Mrs. Potter, and then we'll leave it. Count! Count! What can you tell me about Mrs. Potter, my dear Count? Oh dear. I think something's gone. It's not the game. Something's gone wrong with our shadow connection, which is probably a good time. A fascinating woman indeed, he says. She's a dear friend of mine and we share a mutual love for the finer things in life, so we definitely have a connection. She has exquisite taste and a keen eye for art and culture. She has a certain charm. Is there something specific? It's very good. I mean, look, you've got to put to one side the fact that it's a little bit rough at the edges. It's what it is. It's an indie game. But I actually think the tech and the way that it actually works really well. I mean, you saw that for the majority of time. The only problem that I have is, in a way, I wish that I could have a tap to speak button, because often you can talk over the top of them and then they stop and it picks up the last few words, or whereas if you could kind of, you could just hold the mic down, I suppose, but a little tap to thing could be quite interesting, I think. But I really like it. I could see this being a great fun party game, something to pick up from time to time. I love the fact that you've got a little notebook here that you can tap out notes, and if you oh, what's this? Is this filling it in? This is actually filling in the notes, look. So, as we've asked the questions... so as we've asked questions, it's actually filled in notes. Brilliant. See, there's so much to this that I didn't even realise. That's what we had to investigate. We uncovered the crimes. We found out the information. It hasn't picked up on the other two, though, interestingly. But that may just be the way that we asked the questions. And then we discovered... Yeah. No, I was typing in the notes. That they weren't my notes. These were my notes. Yeah, these were my notes. Some of them are mine, some of them are theirs. Or maybe they're all mine. I don't know. Anyway... I do like it, though. It's really cool. There's more to this game, for sure. I mean, we didn't know, for example, till almost the end that you could hold down the right mouse button and spin around and see other characters. So it may well be that you can, leave this area and go off to other places as well. But j'accuse, you can actually accuse. Oh, look, here you go. Here are all the characters, look. I don't know about Dada. So you could actually... randomly choose. I wonder how many times it lets you. So we didn't discover this character. That's the circus dude. I think we found the others, though, didn't we? We found all these. So we've only not uncovered this guy, who I'm assuming is, he's a waiter. No, he looks a bit like something from A Step to the Left. It's just a step to the left. Yeah. It's good. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a huge game. You're probably going to get through it in a session. But I love the fact, I love the tech, and I love where it's going. And you can imagine, I mean, they've managed to pull this together with very limited budget, I'm sure. Just using, some AI service probably from the inside of Microsoft Azure or something. And it's actually doing a really good job as well. I think that's a real thumbs up from me on that one, and definitely one I want to keep playing, I think, and see where we can go. I want to play with that with my family, and it's a good one, particularly as well, of course, if you are not particularly technical, or maybe have a disability or something. It'd be really good to be able to use your voice, and I could see how. I mean, it was very responsive as well. It was quite capable of keeping up with my questioning, and my random points about pizzas and fish and chips and stuff. Very impressive. Putting to one side, the robotic voices and so on. I don't think that matters particularly. I think this is a proof of concept, and you can absolutely see where things are headed, can't you? Anyway, there you go. That was Super Tuesday. I'll come up with a reason for Super Tuesday. I think actually I quite like the idea of using it for gameplay, and looking at new interesting games and stuff like this. I think that could be quite cool. Either way, I am actually back tomorrow. I thought I was off tomorrow, but it's Thursday and Friday, so I'll be back on tomorrow, and we'll do our Happy Wednesday show, as we often do. In the meantime, have a fantastic Tuesday. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the game. Leave me your thoughts down in the comments. I'm really interested in your thoughts, and there's a link down there as well to Steam if you want to go and have a look and see how much it is and find out a little bit more reviews and that kind of a thing. See, Sam did it. Sam did it. Look at that. She did the stiletto thing. Good to see you, Ant. Thank you so much for stopping by, my friend. And I will see you tomorrow. Oh, she's got lots of good news for tomorrow. That's excellent. You could be the winner of a game, Crystal. I will see you guys tomorrow. You take care. And I don't know what's for dinner, but I'm hungry. So I'm going to go and find out. And where are we? Here we are. It's the end of the show. There it is. See you tomorrow. Take care. Rock out.